I'm so tired. I feel like a slug. I feel like a tiny little mouse. So I'm post CEO day now, and I've had some revelations. Basically, I had realised that something was off. Normally I'm like, right, let's go. Although, looking back on how I've been before, I didn't actually write down or document anywhere how I normally feel after these days where I'm pulling everything apart and putting it back together again. If I was giving myself advice, or if I was working with someone one-to-one, I always say, like, go home and journal about this and let your thoughts flow, because this is a lot to take on. I forgot about that bit. So instead what I've done is overwhelm myself and think that I had to have everything ready to go, and like, you know, I know my objectives, I know the financial targets and approximately where those are going to come from. So that's really, really great. I'm very happy about that, and I'm excited. The thing that is missing is my energy. That kind of highlighted to me that perhaps this week isn't the best time to be putting all of this into a big document, because normally it turns into like at least 20 pages. I, of course, put all of the important elements of the strategy into the beginning of the document, and then the end of it is always the marketing strategy. And this time I'm planning to do a really good like financial budget with it as well, which, because it's a new part of this process, it's going to take me a bit longer, and I will probably need some help with it. Even just talking this through now with you is hilarious that I thought I'd get this done this week. So these are going to be the next steps. Due on annual leave next week, which I think is really well timed, because it takes me a lot of time to process this stuff, and because I'm a creative person, I need to get creative. And if you don't know, I'm also a painter, so next week I'm going to be in my studio working on my portfolio of paintings and my new website that's about to go live. You know, so casual. I've got a lot on my plate, I've got a lot of things that I want to do. So I'm going to like submerge myself into that world and trust myself to come out of that rejuvenated and ready to go. So that's what I'm going to do next week. This week I'm kind of like wrapping up a few things. Beyond the Bubble is finishing next week, so I'm making sure that we've got everything ready to go with finishing that off. We've got a prize draw happening this week, which is always my favourite part. And yeah, so I'm just kind of like going through the admin stuff and doing the little bits that won't take my whole entire battery. This is turning into, like, when I started this strategy series, I thought, this is great. I'll record my 2 half days of CEO day and give you a nice insight into the me putting this structure together, forgetting that this is a longer process. Even though I do this for lots of people all of the time, and give them the same advice, but we're not great at giving ourselves advice, are we? Please, I hope you agree with that. I'm not anyway. I have to have support, as I think we all do. I have already kind of engaged with some people who are like, oh my God, you have made me feel so much better about business and not earning as much as I thought I should be. And, you know, knowing that it's an ongoing process and that this is something, it's really easy to think that I will do this strategy and it all will be sorted. Plans don't work like that. It's nice to have some guidelines, right? It's nice to know that you're steering the ship in a certain direction, but sometimes life throws that off. Sometimes it throws us off course, and that's okay. But if we have things like objectives, and I talk a lot about this, I don't know how many times I've said it, But I might do like a word count on how many times I've said objectives because it's a lot. But those are your foundations. Those are the things that are going to anchor you in everything that you do. So if things go a bit awry, if your plans get changed, or you are suddenly faced with a massive life-changing event, objectives will help keep you grounded and keep the business moving forward in the right direction, because they're there to anchor you. That's the dream. Anyway, that's my update. I think this video is a bit of a catfish because I don't feel this energetic. I just apparently feel like that when talking on camera. A minute ago, because we're on a virtual co-working session, a minute ago I was like this. I'm so tired. I feel like a slug. I feel like